Ballislife gang, welcome back to your favorite show, The Heat Check, brought to you by Ballislife. I am your hostess with the mostest, that girl, Kayla Nicole, and we're kicking it off today with the top highlights of the week. Let's go. First up, we've got 5-star shooting guard Bryan Antoine getting buckets at the John Wall Invitational. The 6'5" Villanova-bound guard averaged nearly 30 points as the Ranney school went undefeated at the tournament. Antoine earned tournament MVP honors for his performance, and it's looking like Coach Jay Wright has found himself another impact player. Next up, we've got 5-star shooting guard Josh Christopher and unsigned senior Sedrick Altman going head-to-head at the Harvey Katani Classic. Now, almost every hoophead knows about 5-star guard Josh Christopher. The Mayfair high star is one of the most entertaining high school hoopers in the country. From his game all the way down to his drip. Nice booty shorts, Josh. But Saturday brought to light an under-the-radar kid in SoCal who should be garnering some Division I looks. Colony High unsigned senior Sedrick Altman. Now, as you can see, Altman is a super explosive athlete and high-level defender. Mayfair took the 64-61 dub with Christopher dropping 28 and Altman pouring in 31.
We wear short shorts. If you dare wear short shorts, therefore short shorts.
Who wears short shorts? Josh wears short shorts. We've briefly discussed Giannis's younger brother, Alex Antetokounmpo, who is making a name for himself at Dominican High in Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. But check out the young freak's smooth jumper. I personally cannot wait to see the noise that he will make at the collegiate level. All right, y'all, I'm feeling generous. It's time for our weekly giveaway. We have another dope prize for this episode. A very sleek and very nice black and gray Ballislife hoodie. But remember, you must comment on this episode and this episode only. Good luck. Hey, yo, big homie Kawhi. What's good? Oh, yes, it's time for our LOL segment. And first up, Klay Thompson sets a career high for dunks in one game. In the Warriors' 142-111 win over the Nuggets, Klay Thompson showed off his interior play, proving to us all that he's more than just a three-point shooter. He threw down a career high of 4 dunks in a game. Afterwards, the Golden State shooting guard was hyping himself and his dunks in a big way, but his coach and teammates, especially Kevin Durant, were quick to bring Klay back to earth. Take a look.
Felt great. I don't think I've ever done that. Haven't done it since high school. And even in high school, I was probably leaking out, cherry picking, so that was nice, man. I felt better than hitting 10 threes, to be honest.
Not much, because dunks don't look that good. How much is he talking right now after the dunk?
He's excited about those, probably his last 4 dunks of the year, though.
They tell him they got to be a little prettier.
Yeah, they kind of greased, he greased those in. He's 6'7", he should be jumping a little higher than that.
I mean, I agree with KD. Klay Thompson is like the Tim Duncan of dunks. Efficient, but boring as I said what I said. Next up, we've got Sixers center Joel Embiid and guard Jimmy Butler throwing some shade at the Timberwolves. Philly put a 149-107 beat down on Minnesota in Jimmy's first game against his former team. Butler scored 19 on 8 for 10 shooting in the game, but what happened post-game is getting the most attention. Saying, quote, looking right through the past to the future. What do you guys think? Is Jimmy versus the Wolves feud the best in basketball right now? Because I personally think Jimmy's obsession with bashing his old team is juvenile. And with a trade request history like he has, Embiid better watch his back because he could be next on the shit list. And last up, young Hooper leaves no doubt as to who his favorite NBA player is. The Harden challenge is reaching new heights, or lows, depending on how you look at it. Check out this footage of a little dude almost pulling off the Beard's double step back. It's clear who his favorite player is, but I want to know who's your favorite NBA player of all time. Let me know in the comments. All right, y'all, moving into our next segment that will have you saying GTFOH.
Get the f out of here. Get the f out of here. Get the f out of here. The f out.
You have to pay how much to film a Spire game? The media was surprised to find out that in order to film Spire games at this weekend stop on the Grind Session Tour, you have to drop a cool 3,500 bones. Adam Zagoria, who writes for his personal blog and Forbes, got a hold of the email laying out all the rules to film the Melo-led squad at the Big Baller Beatdown event. Now, this isn't completely unheard of. A lot of high school level teams get their flights paid for or rooms taken care of to participate in an event. But do you think you'd have to fork up some cash to film Spire if Melo wasn't there? You know what I have to say to that? So who exactly is getting beat down here? Spire's competition or the media for trying to cover it? Next up, James Harden really doesn't need anyone's help to light up the scoreboard. Mike Zavagno, who blogs about the Cavs for Fear the Sword, tweeted out an insane stat regarding the Beard's last 2 games, in which Harden scored 58 and 57 points, respectively. Not one of his 33 made field goals came off an assist from a teammate. How crazy is that? That's 2 games, 115 points, and no helpers from the rest of the Rockets. And we all know how generous NBA statisticians are with handing out dimes. Okay, so who does the stat make look worse? James Harden, the coaching staff, or the rest of the Rockets team? Sound off in the comments. All right, Ballislife gang, we're moving into our next segment featuring stories that you might not know about, but absolutely should. You're welcome.
Hands up! Hands up!
Is Nikola Jokic a legitimate NBA MVP candidate? When the topic of the NBA's most valuable player arises, it usually centers around a handful of familiar names like LeBron James, James Harden, Kawhi, Steph Curry, Giannis, and even KD. But we're a little over halfway through the 2018-2019 season, and while the players we just mentioned are certainly in the mix, Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic is making sure his name is in consideration. Get this, on the season, Jokic is averaging a career best of 19.7 points to go along with his 10.1 boards and 7.5 assists, while shooting 56.5% on 2-point field goals and 84.1% from the free throw line. Nikola is one of the best passing big men in the game right now, and his crazy all-around skill set has the Nuggets sitting second in the Western Conference. What do you guys think? Is the Joker a legitimate MVP candidate? Nikola! I vote yes. Heads up, guys, Scottie Pippen and T-Mac have interesting thoughts on Zion Williamson. On a recent episode of ESPN's The Jump, Scottie Pippen said he thinks Zion will be the top pick in June's draft and that Zion should stop playing now to avoid injury.
I think he's definitely going to be the #1 pick. I mean, I think he's done enough for basketball, college basketball, that it's more about him personally now. And I think for him as a young player that I would shut it down.
He sealed up the #1 pick in the draft because he's the best player or because he's the most exciting player and he has the machine behind him pumping him.
What do you guys think? Is Zion a better player than his skilled teammate, RJ Barrett? And should he pack it in early just to stay healthy? And last up, remember when we told you the new NCAA live viewing period rules would limit opportunities for some high school players? Well, the state associations in New York, Texas, and Nevada have all opted out of hosting sanctioned events in June, meaning schools in those states will not be able to run events that college coaches can attend. Unfortunately, nothing has been resolved in North Carolina either, where the Public School Association has the green light to run events while the private schools will be left out. The fallout continues to show that there must be an overhaul of these rules. And you can hear more on this on the latest episode of our In the Paint podcast, hosted by Devin Uglin and Ranney Flores. Well, guys, that concludes today's episode. But before I go, I hope you guys know that this show isn't a show without your feedback. We always invite you guys to be a part of the convo, whether it's the first story or the last that caught your eye. Don't be shy and let us know what you think in the comments. And while you're here, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so that you can stay in the Ballislife loop. Also, if you missed our last episode and you need to catch up, no big deal, just click right over here. And if you're a hoop junkie like myself and want to check out our latest balla-ass highlight vids, click right over here. There are 1,000,001 shows that you could be watching, so thanks so much for keeping it locked on the Heat Check. That girl, Kayla Nicole, logging off.